Hi guys, I am ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is the rise of Cornoe and we are in the lovely town of Zavadovka. We've got a sports dynamo palace here that's attracting quite a few guests along with the shopping center, of course. Now, we are building a bunch of new things here to try and really up our worker count so that we can supercharge the production here in the combinat area. It's a bunch of lines being built here. Let me have a quick look. That's not really what I want to do. I want to do this. So what is this? We're running sewage out this way? I guess this was all the remnants that we're just kind of finishing off. We may as well finish that off for some additional support. Now, one thing, before we get into things too much, in the comments, it was mentioned that maybe this ship has run aground. I kind of wondered about that in the last episode. Now, what I will do is let's set it to the line, the coral shunt thing, right? And then we are going to try and do a little bit of terraforming in the hopes that it will free it up. All right? I mean, we are, trying to open up quite a bit here. I don't think that's the plan. I don't think that's the reason. Okay, so I've dug up a little bit more. So let's quickly then just try and see if we're saying go to the other one instead. Oh! It worked! So it did run aground. That is basically what has happened here. Okay, so let's turn it around, go back into the other direction. Okay, so maybe we've dug it out. Okay, that's an interesting one. So maybe this channel here is maybe a little bit too narrow. But anyway, I think it should be okay. It might have been, I don't know when that happened, but maybe we're all sorted for the time being. At least we've got it back now. Now the issue is now we probably have too many of them. That's just going to kind of linger over here. Do we have an export route? Let me put it onto the coal ore exports line instead. And we'll turn it around and we'll do some exports via that one. We'll do that. So turn around, do the export thing. I don't think we need more than 3 on this one. Okay, excellent. So thank you so much for that comment. Very useful, ultimately. Very useful. So we've got our waste complex under a bit of construction over here. And one thing that I have been talking about for quite a bit of time was gravel, and this does look like we could do fairly easy gravel over here. So let's add, maybe while we're at it, we have rail coming through here. We can obviously have road. Workers might be a little bit more challenging, but maybe even workers can get here. We'll see. We'll have a bit of a look. So let's have a look at the construction industry. And then there's something else I need to absolutely look at. So let's look at what we have over here. A converter plant. I mean, all of these kind of these items I don't care too much for. What we're ultimately after is the major gravel processing plants. And I guess, yeah, so this is workable. And okay, so this takes workers. Oh, hang on. Before we get there, the gravel processing here is a different story than the quarries, right? So initially, this takes quarried stone, so we need to do quarries. Whoa, okay, but these, I'm effectively saying we're not going to worry too much about these. Why is this daily production per worker? Per worker. Let's go. I just want to quickly have a look. So our previous quarry over here, right? Yeah, so this isn't the problem. The problem is this. right? So these, I don't have any workers here. The mechanisms are doing the work, right? That's the plan. And we don't seem to need much for them. Okay. And they do, you know, a reasonable amount without workers. Okay, fine. So we'll do that. We'll do the same thing over here. There is room to do that. So we'll do our quarry activities over here. It looks like we're going to have pretty reasonable spots right there. So if we go quarried stone, we'll go with the bigger ones. It's got pretty nice nice options here. And I guess again what we will do is we'll try and put them all together and then try and get the, yeah, we'll see what we do with this. So let's try and get our reasonably sized sources here. So if we go to, yeah, so we'll do a 80 over there. And a 75 over here. And maybe 85 over there. Did we want to do an extra 60 as well? And what I might do is I might just demolish this one and turn it around. Go back to that. Flip it around to the other side. 70, huh? And then I thought we had... I guess the idea is we want to be reasonably well spaced, but obviously these can't impede one another too much. So if we do that, it'd be about 60 there. Okay, so that gives us a pretty nifty little grouping of them. So then if we go and try and find ourselves the spot where we're storing it, so we're gonna say do a 2000 like this, right? I kind of want to do this, right? Now, the only problem I have with this, if we do that, yeah, that's better. Okay, let's, if we do it here, like so, can we manually hook them up, right? I think the plan would be we should be able to manually hook all of this stuff up, right? So we do that and we do that. So I kind of like the idea of just manually running them all into the side over there. And then, yeah, I believe we can get out on this side. And then what we'll need to do is set up, I think, at least 2 of the processing plants here. So if we go with this, so what does this actually process? 82 tons per day. I'm thinking, I mean, we need at least 2 of them, right? At least 2. And if we flip this around, right? I mean, we'll squeeze it in there, right? So we'll do 1 here. We'll flip this one around and do another one right over there. So we'll do at least the 2 of them. Oh, I didn't... Did that not connect? Let's just make sure it can before we... Yeah, it can connect. So this will just draw it straight from there. Gives us 2 of them. It does not give us a lot in terms of expandability. Potentially we can expand to the other side. So we can do 2 more on this side if we so... actually, we can do 2 more on this side. And maybe what we'll do, let's place them there without building them, of course. But let's place them here with the view that ultimately we may want to build them. So if we did something like this and we flip this thing around And we did maybe something like that, right? So there we go. So that gives us, and the one thing I just wanted to check, can we, I think this will actually actively work, right? If we did that, that could work. Could we potentially get a road underneath here? We can. So if we were to do, say, that, and that doesn't actually want to do that, trim that back, see about making a little bit of a curve. Yeah. And I guess what we can do is we can trim this back a little bit, and then we'll do that, right? So at least that is giving us an actionable area. So now all of this is actually linked up. We need to figure this out, this plan out for in terms of road access a little bit more. But this gives us a very big gravel facility that we can work with. And I guess the plan is going to be that we're going to run these ones. So let's find this road alignment here. Can this go underneath there? It can. And so I guess actually what we will do is let's trim this back up to there, right? And then the idea is we will tie that in about like that, and we'll do that. So at least now we've got that connectivity on this side. These two should be accessible there, and what we'll do is we'll let's try and get our storage in place first. And now what we have here is potentially a bit of a challenge. Now let's just get the storage in here first. So let's try and get a pretty big storage. So if we go with something like this guy, if we tried that, right? Okay, so that is built. I think this is low, right? Oh, no, that does not look to be too low, so that should be okay. Can we get something underneath here? We cannot. It is low. This is low. That is the problem with this, is that it is low. So this actually can't work in this way. Okay, so we will need to figure out what we're going to do. Now here is somewhere where I think we may. Okay, let's start with the rail component here, and we'll see what else we can fit. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna have to move this here. I'm gonna have to move this road, which is not the end of the world. Actually, let us start by giving ourselves a little bit more room here, right? Okay, so we'll give ourselves a little bit more room here to maneuver. Now, let's go back to the rail side of things, and we want an aggregate loader. Aggregate loading. And I'm kind of thinking, I'm contemplating something like this, right? So that we can have multiple trains come in to pick it up. But I guess we probably don't need that size, right? Something like this is going to be sufficient anyway. And basically what we want to do is probably squeeze it in like this, right? So we'll be able to kind of come off of somewhere back here. Now this is where this is going to get interesting, around this crossing point. But let's consider this for a minute. So if we were to say do this in terms of crossings, is this actually going to work? I think it might just work. I don't think it does more than say 3. Right? If we were to extend the road, right? We were to do something like that, and even say go for it, can we now maybe run across? Oh, we can. Okay, fine. So that road was just a little bit too short. So we just need to have a look at how we do this. But basically, that's going to be okay. And then the plan would be that we would need to tie in all of this stuff pretty aggressively over here, right? So the idea would be something like that, and something like that. And yeah, something like that should be fine. We should be able to get a signal in over here and then over there, right? So I'm a little concerned. Shall we try the signal thing first, right? I guess it's not quite. I don't know if we need a signal here, but let's plan it out a little bit more. If we did the F4 thing, that one can go on that side, and then this one can go on this side, and then we should be able to do signal there. Really? That's not nice. Let's just try this one more time. Actually, let's get rid of that. Let us merge this thing again. I'm still keen on doing something else, right? A few other things. So if we could run this a little bit further in, like so, right? And then we can do that for a little bit more room. And actually, this might be the better of the options, right? That's looking a little bit better. And this will have room for all of that and all of that, and then basically we'll go from there. Yeah, fine. We'll leave it like that, right? So that gives us that. Now we just need to provide a nice big, okay, and here we will want to, oh, from that side we want the we want these guys to be loading it. So let's do, oh, it needs to come out this way. Not that way per se, right? And can we just flip it around? Because it seems like, yeah. Seems like this is our option. Maybe a little bit like this. Ooh, that didn't quite work. What I want to do is get rid of that one because we don't want that direct maneuver. Give me this. I just want to... So why is this not working? I was having this working a minute ago. Okay, well, let's try that again. This is a bit of a thing. Putting these conveyors, they can be quite... That's not going to work. That, however, may. That might work. Okay, so if we were to do this one instead, and now this one doesn't want to work. Anyway, clear that one out. Let's try this one. The road now would have to go to the other side. We do that again. It doesn't want to work. Okay, fine. Let's just clear this out. Let's just forget about it. What we'll do is we'll do one of each, right? We'll do two of them into a nice big storage. So let's get the big storage in place. Maybe we flip it around, turn it like this. Yes. Yes, no, maybe. I'm thinking something like that. Right? If we do this, we can put two of them in there. Okay, so let's try this, see if this will work. We can put two conveyor connections in through there because ultimately maybe if multiple trains are loading, that would be required. We need to bring the road out, so that will work. Okay, we need to then get our conveyor engine, and I guess we're just going to do the one, whatever that means. We'll flip it to go this direction, and ultimately what we want to do is go nice and high, guess like this, so we can get a road to connect through there. And then we'll similarly do something on this side. Maybe we will turn this one around, and again we'll go pretty high if we can. Okay, let's flip it around with the axis actually in on that side. Yeah, so something like that, I think, is the plan. That should work. Now, what we need to do is get all of these roads to kind of tie in. Why you don't want to do that? There we go. That's better. Oh, please work. It doesn't want to get through there. I mean, really seems like there's room, right? Okay. Give me one more shot here. Let's pull this one back. I think on that side it will work, right? I think that one is far enough away, so that one will in fact work. Yeah, that one will work. So we'll do that and get that underneath the conveyor engine over there. And then we'll try one more time over here. Oh, that is quite an interesting... Okay, we want to flip this around to be able to do kind of something like... Ooh. That is quite a challenge. Okay, so before we can't get that road to work. So if we trim this back a little bit like so, and we try that one more time. Again, we want to flip it around and get a nice high one in place here. I guess something like that is the plan then, right? So if we do this, click the button, that seems okay. And we do want to make sure we are... Why is that? Okay, let's trim this road back a little bit. I think we should be able to make this work. Yeah, we can. We'll do that. And then here should be enough room. Beautiful. Beautiful. What we might do is we might actually try and do it from this side. Doesn't want to work like that. Doesn't want to work like that either. Okay, so let's do what we can here. So the plan would be we do that, and we do this, and we trim this road back a little bit, and this time around we do that. There we go. I think I like it. That'll all work, and everything here should be connected. And now the question would be around workers. So let's have a quick look at what we can do for workers here. I think this will work through there, right? And I guess the idea would be that we do this and do that. Okay, and now we need to get down. We need to kind of find a spot through there. I mean, we could just do this, right? And then the plan would be to see whether we can potentially get these guys to walk all the way. And the answer to that question is a resounding not even... Oh, actually, this one is getting there. This one is getting there. Let's try this one again. It's a little tight. If we... Do we have pathway on this side? Not so that you would notice, really. So our secondary option here is really not good. So the question would be, okay, I guess we have an optimization that we can do here, right? let's do... let's go back there. So we do need to clear it as quickly as possible, but I guess then we want a beeline for down here, right? That's really the plan. So let's try, if we were to run... trim that back. So I'm just trying to get the paths as direct as possible so that we could... That's pretty good. Just see where these things are. Okay. They should pretty easily be able to get through there. Okay, let's trim that back to try and straighten it up a little. There we go. And we'll run it through there. And we'll run it like this. And we'll run it across there and like so. And I guess I don't think we can do much less. Oh, beautiful. It's working. I will take it. There we go. So all those paths now work. So these guys will all be serviceable. And I guess that's the plan, right? That's ultimately the plan. So let's quickly just get our main road connection to tie back up here. Does it have to, though? I mean, it doesn't have to go there. We can just kind of sneak. Well, on the other hand, it does need to kind of provide access to all of this, right? So let's just run, because if we were to, yeah, so we'll do something like this, right? So we can so we can try and kind of make this stuff work, right? So we'll do something like that, get that in place. So these guys will all be connectable via maybe some of the single like road like this. So we'll do something like that and something like this, and we'll do something like that and something like this, and there we go. So we'll get that going on. It'll connect up over here as well, but I guess we'll plan something more. I think we can obviously do exactly the same thing on this side, but it'll be a bit of a future-proofing area, so we'll have to have a bit of a look at that. But anyway, so that is a pretty good little spot there, right? So we can kind of keep all of the works underway, I guess. But now we will have a new gravel setup over here. We do need to have a look at how we ultimately tie these things together, because that's going to be a little bit of a bummer. But I guess this will all work with all of these kind of stopping areas and the rail yards and the likes. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do in this episode, and sorry, I didn't actually, everything was kind of paused all the time. Got more vehicles that is struggling, and I don't quite know why they're struggling so significantly to get their repairs done. In reality, there should be more than enough repairs going on now that we've got everything set up. So something we'll have to have a look at. How does this thing look like? 4.2 tons of nuclear waste, another container. It's all nuclear waste there. But what I am worried about is why we're not seeing any exports of this stuff. No, so we've got UFC missing. UFC is being produced here at a kind of general rate. What is on here? We have got nuclear fuel there. The nuclear fuel... Oh, okay. I guess our whole setup where we're doing multiple stops here is not quite working, right? So, what I want to do is I want to... Is this fully loaded with nuclear fuel? Yeah, it is properly fully loaded. So, I guess the intent here is this guy. So let's do this. So this one is, let's just rename this line. So this is nuclear fuel exports. Nuclear fuel exports, because I think this is where we have some issues. So we'll save that. This one I'm going to set to that line. Oh, actually, this one does that. This one, no, we'll set up a new thing here. So basically, what we're going to do, yeah, let's do that. So let's just go and set this one to nuclear fuel exports, please. And what you're going to do is you're going to go straight to the customs house and sell those things for us. Beautiful. Now this guy, on the other hand, I might say you are going to head over here. Let's clear. Well, we can't clear it. So you're going to head over there. The uranium conversion plant. You're going to load up on... here we go. You're going to load up on nuclear fuel. Oh, I mean UF6. You're going to load up on UF6. Okay. I guess you're going to wait. No, you're not going to wait until you're loaded. Then we'll close that one out. Then from there, you will go here and you will unload your UF6. Back one UF6. You'll unload your UF6. And I think that's okay, right? For the time being, let's just do that. We might run out of nuclear fuel, ultimately. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's close this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to go there, right? And then what we'll do is we'll delete that one and we'll delete that one. And now you're just going to go back and forth. And to be honest, if that's what you're going to do, maybe we just wait until you load it. No, let's just do that. Let's just keep going there. Okay, so at least that will work. Now, there was a train that was having issues, so let's quickly have a look at that. Why is this? What? What on earth is this all about? This is craziness, right? Okay. This is a bit awkward. We should not, I mean, you should not be able to do this, so we'll have a bit of a look at this. What you're going to do is you're going to go back to that one, please. So, you can't. Okay, you will go back to Molodok, Lipkapol. I guess you'll go here, right? They've got no one with you, right? So let's just go, you go back that way. Turn around. Okay, as soon as you're out of the way, where are you going? Similarly, you will go in that direction. Turn around, do your thing, and I guess you'll be able to get out, and then everything will, I guess, start flowing again. Okay, let's speed it up. This is something we obviously need to work on. Whoa, okay. Do you have anybody with you? No. Ooh, this is an old train. Looks pretty nasty, that train. This is still a problem, though. So I guess you're going to go back into that direction and we'll turn you around. And then everything else should now start moving. Let's just put a stop on this train here. So the other one can... And you can ignore the red signal. Where is this fire? Cornoe Harbor should be fine. And now with all of that in place, we can start the train up again, and then everything should be moving, right? Okay, so that's obviously a little bit too much of what we need to do. So we will have to keep a bit of an eye on trying to manage that a little bit better. We're seeing a little bit of power flickering going on over here. Construction is underway, but I guess our nuclear fuel needs to be exported so we can get some money from that. I'm very glad we solved the ship that was run aground over there. That was a bit of a pain for me. Everything is ground to a halt here because of the fact that our trains wasn't working. Oh, I want to have a quick look at the signals. The signals here is obviously not quite right. So let's have a quick look at the signals. Chain. This needs to be chains. Interesting. So this one will not let you go unless those two are open. Right. Ah, this is wrong. These two are wrong. They need to be mixed signals, but the opposite direction. So they need to go like that. Yes, I think maybe that should be an improvement. Maybe that's where the problem came in, though I do wonder. Would have been coming in from this side, coming in from that side, and then they can go to either one of the stops, basically. But that's okay, right? So slowly everything will be doing its thing. We should be picking up people again. Yeah, fine. Go, go, go. Next one. Happiness is up. 80%. Yeah, I think this is up. I think it's up. I can't remember whether we were... I think we were up, right? We were like at 70 or something. So it's slowly creeping up to 80 now. And I think this number may have dropped a little bit. If we can have a quick look at our population numbers... I just want to have a look at deaths. This year, last year, any big numbers? We've had a few. I mean, 10,000 over the year. I mean, our births still far outstrip it, so it's not a big deal. The escapes is the big one, which means we're not giving them anywhere to live, right? That's really what the issue is. So we're building that. We need a couple of vehicles here, some duty vehicles. Not sure we have anything available. Are you bringing in? You're bringing in workers. We need to keep going on this, right? This number is really scary. 6 million rubles only. That's just not even close. Not even close. Construction activities are underway here, and this will take quite a while to build, I'm sure. But I guess we'll just have to slowly get that done. These items should be pretty well loaded at the moment. Let's have a quick look, very briefly have a look here how these trains are doing. We seem to be... There isn't significant vehicles waiting, right? So I guess we're... And we do have the waiting room. I guess there's be other stuff coming in shortly. So it's kind of holding. My big thing is, are we able to export the nuclear fuel? It's got UF6 now, so nuclear fuel should be producing. And I guess, is this guy the exporter? Is. Let's just have a look. Wait until loaded. Okay, so this guy's going to park here, and it's already got 2 of them ready to go. Should we go or should we wait? How long will it take? I think it just has to wait, really. The idea is it needs to wait. These are how much? 0.4? 0.4? Oh, 0.2. Okay, yeah. So we're actively waiting on one more. And it should be ready... I think we're reasonably... Yeah, I mean, we're doing it reasonably quickly, I think. So, I think just hold on. We should be able to get that sorted. Let's see if we can export some trains. We could potentially export a 5 million ruble train here. And I think maybe the answer is let's quickly do that. Let's make a run to get at least one of these out, because now I think we fixed the issue that we were having with the nuclear fuel. So that should provide us a pretty steady flow of this stuff, right? That one should be fairly almost there now. Any workers? Yeah, it's got its workers. It's doing its thing, right? Yeah, so this should be getting that next one in there now, and then it should be going. Right, so that should be good. I think our balance should be fairly stable here. And I don't see too much flickering of lights. Maybe all the way over there a little bit. Very minor, I think, if anything. But we will need to keep an eye on our power provisions over here. And the idea is now we need to see that all of this is actively working all the time, right? And ultimately, we're also some of these trains will effectively stop serving this area once I think we've got enough trains running from Zavadovka. Then some of these trains can start to predominantly serve this area. But it looks pretty good, actually. We're practically fully loaded, and they're all operating. So I'm not against. This guy is really doing its thing. Oh, there we go. Some good numbers there now. We've exported the train. So I'm back up over the 10 million. Let's just get this train back to its warehouse. That's fine. And I'm pretty sure that would have left. Oh, not yet. Why is it still waiting? It's not going to take another one. So for some reason it's waiting until there's one more here before it'll go. But it's already got the 2.5 million ready to go there, right? So this one, I guess we'll just keep going on this. And then we've got some uranium ore being mined. We don't have this one open, but this one is open. 2 crimes that hasn't been patrolled. We should have a police station here, right? That one we never worked on. This is a police station. It's not actively able to do its thing over there. Some kind. Oh, let's just see. No, not this. The fire station. Oh, the fire station can't get up there either. Oh, this isn't connected. This is not connected. So let's make sure to at least put a road across here, right? Oh, it's too steep. What does this look like? Not that, but give me this. Ooh, okay. Yeah. We don't have free excavator. So that is a bit of a bummer, right? So we are not going to be able to resolve the issues with the mine up there. Not a straightforward call for us, unfortunately. This guy has left, right? So once this thing filled up, it realized it can't load another one, and it left. So hopefully by the time it gets back, there'd be like 2 or 3 of them already there. And that's the plan, really. That is the plan. We still have tons of these vehicles just kind of parked up here. And we're for some reason not able to do that. Can we replace this vehicle with... I don't think we have an option to replace it. I guess these we can replace, right? So if we do have vehicles available... Yes. Oh, we've got these. Okay, hang on. Pause it for a second. Let's grab 2 of these. Can I just color this black? Yeah, so let's grab these 2. We'll move them to our new secret police station up here, because we need to kind of monitor people's loyalty. So send that one in and send that one in. Nice, okay. And then the idea is we'll go back and we'll replace those, or at least 2 of those vehicles. Ooh, and I'm going in the wrong direction. I want to be here at Tomograd 17. So I want to grab these 2. I have no idea why the replacement here is not, or why they're not being repaired. But what I'll do is I'll replace them with some of these vehicles that we have available here, right? So replace that one with that one. And we'll replace that one with its neighbor. Right? Beautiful. So hopefully we're solving some of those items. We're running into winter pretty quickly now. But I think everything seems like it's holding up for the time being. Oh, look at that. Big money now. Big money coming in. How many fuels do we have available? Almost back up to 2. So yes, I guess the truck that'll come back will not have to wait too long before things start happening. These guys should really be doing their UF6 production fairly quickly, and we should have a constant supply now here, right? We do have that. Beautiful. 2 nuclear fuels ready to go. Okay, things are looking pretty good now. Money-wise, it's looking... Ooh, again? Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, so again, we're running aground over here. So let's try and at least solve this issue once and for all now. So I guess we are auto-saving. Let's just try and see if we can't... I find it really interesting that the guys are... Yeah, there we go. So run aground. That's super interesting. Why are you navigating through this area if you are going to have these issues? So let's do that. Let's try and give it a little bit more around the corner here. A little bit easier to deal with, right? So it might be a little bit tight. Okay. So we'll use some of our vehicles and what like to just kind of sculpt the edge here a little. That edge is not too problematic. Not sure we're going to be able to sculpt too much off of it on this side either. But I guess that should really be wide enough, that canal, right? But I'm glad we figured that one out. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. And I guess that's a ship that was exported, right? So if we look at this... what was that? Exporting of vehicles. Oh, no, not vehicles. That's not oh, it is vehicles being exported. So let's have a quick look at that. This month... I guess this must be nuclear, right? Because we can't actually see. Nuclear fuel doesn't pop up in here. This is, hang on. This is imports. If we go to the exports here, nuclear fuel, oh, nuclear fuel does pop up here. Okay. So the vehicle exports is a funny one. What is the, was it the, interesting. Maybe it was the train. But anyway, I guess we're kind of getting our stuff moving. Okay, fine. Guys, I am going to put a cut in this episode. We've done, a few little bits and pieces. I think the one that I'm glad we're looking at is the addition of the gravel industry here. That's quite an important extension for us. We've got all of our bridge infrastructure almost done. We still have this tunnel doing its thing. It still needs a little bit of time to get that tunnel going, but I guess our access points are looking good and our streets are coming in. Okay, there's a bit of an issue here, so let's clear that one out. It was not supposed to be doing this, right? I guess let's quickly have a look at these signals because it's causing us some problems. I guess what we'll do is we'll just make these chains all the way so you can at least check beyond that side. Yeah, presumably now you will wait in this slot here. Okay, fine. That should be good. Okay, guys, We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. So solving a few things, adding the new gravel infrastructure and getting our exports back up on track, or back on track was a few things for this episode. We are actively progressing construction here in Zavadovka. 4 new residential buildings that'll be like 1,200 extra people living here is coming up into the sky pretty quickly there, and then we'll double back and make sure that we're properly loading these. They seem to be working, but we want to really bump this up and get those exports flowing. Okay, guys, I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.